Hare Krishna. We'll start with the short prayers. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaya Kada Mahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschata Desha Tarini Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Govindaya Namaha Sri Krishna Hari Bol Gopala Hari Bol Radharamana Govinda Hari Bol Sri Krishna Hari Bol Gopala Hari Bol Radha Ramana Govinda Hari Bol Jai Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhi Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. So welcome you all to the Bhakti Shastri class. Today we'll be completing the remaining shlokas of chapter 16. After this, I will just make you read few more examples from the Shastras of both the divine as well as the demonic characters. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Yes, one by one, please start reading, no? Yes, Shravan Prabhu.
Om Namo.
Acha, yes, Prasanna Chitta Prabhu. Okay, no problem.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tanaham dvista kruran samsareshu naradaman krishpami ajarshram asubhan ashrushvi eva yonishu. Synonyms: tan, those; aham, I; dvisatam, envious; kruran, mischievous; samsareshu, in the ocean of material existence; narad, adaman, the lowest of mankind; shipami, I put; ajashram, forever; ashubhan, inauspicious; asurishu, demoniac; eva, certainly; yonishu, into the wombs. Translation: those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, I perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence, into various demoniac species of life. Translation purpose Prabhupada ki jai. In this verse, it is clearly indicated that the placing of a particular individual soul in a particular body is the prerogative of the supreme will. The demoniac person may not agree to accept the supremacy of the Lord, and it is a fact that he may act according to his own whims, but his next birth will depend upon the decision of the supreme personality of Godhead and not on himself. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, it is stated that an individual soul after his death is put into the womb of a mother where he gets a particular type of body under the supervision of superior power. Therefore, in the material existence, we find so many species of lives animals, insects, men, and so on. All are arranged by the superior power. They are not accidental. For as for the demoniac, it is clearly said here that they are perpetually put into the wombs of demons, and thus they continue to be envious, the lowest of mankind. Such demoniac species of men are held to be always full of lust, always violent and hateful, and always unclean. This many kinds of hunters, the many kinds of hunters in the jungle are considered to be belong to the demoniac species of life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, again, it is the past karma of that particular person based on which they'll be born in that particular uni and particular family and certain situations. So this is particularly being done under the supervision of the super power. And the whatever the nature they get, the thorn will always be pricky to others. It will not emit the fragrance. Similarly, demonic people, they are always full of all the demonic characteristics and disturbing the society and the other mankind. Yeah. Next one, Shravan Prabhu, yes. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Asurim yonim apanna मूढ़ा जन्मानि जन्मनि मां प्रपैव कौन्तेय ततो यान्ति अधमां गतिम्. Synonymous: Asurim, demonic; Yonim, species; Apannaha, gaining; Mudha, the foolish; Janmani, Janmani, the birth after birth; Mam, me; Prapya, without achieving; Aprapya, Eva, certainly; Kaunteya, a son of Kunti; Tata, thereafter; Yanti, go; Adhamam, Adhamam, condemned; Gatim, destination. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna. Attaining repeated birth amongst the species of demonic life, O son of Kunti, such person can never approach me. Gradually, they shrink down to the most abominable type of existence. Purport. It is known that God is all merciful, but here we find that God is never merciful to the demonic. It is clearly stated that the demonic people, life after life, are put into the womb of similar demons and not achieving any mercy of the Supreme Lord. They go down and go down so that last they achieve body like those of cat, dog, hogs. It is clearly stated that such demons have practically no chance of receiving the mercy of God at any stage of later life. In Vedas also it stated that such person gradually shrink to become dog and hog. It may be then argued in this connection that God should not be advi- mm, advised,
Advertised.
advised, advertised as merciful if he is not merciful, such demons? Answer to this question, it is Vedanta Sutra. We find that the Supreme Lord has no hatred for anyone. Huh. The placing of the asura, the demons, in this lowest status of life, simply another future of his mercy. Sometimes the asuras are killed by Supreme Lord, but killing is also good for them. For Vedic literature, we find that anyone who is killed by Supreme Lord become liberated. There are instances in history of many asura, Ravana, Kamsa, Hiranyakasipu, to whom the Lord appeared in the various incarnations just to kill them. Therefore, God's mercy is shown to the asura if they are fortunate enough to be killed by him. Hmm. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, yeah, Lord is merciful even to the demonic people. Whatever they wish to, they will be given accordingly. But they'll be born in the lower animal. And yeah, but ultimately, the demonic characters who were devotees and for some reasons they have been born as a demons are again been killed in the hand of Lord so that they will be liberated to complete their cycle for that particular period of time and they go back. Okay. Therefore, Lord mercy is shown to the asuras also if they're fortunate enough to be killed by him. So here we have examples like Ravana, Kamsa, and Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, many. Okay, Hare Krishna. Next.
So Mataji, can I read?
Yes, yes,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Oh, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Trividam nar narakashyedam dvaram nashanam atmana kama krodhas tadha lobhas tasmat etat trayam tajet. Synonyms: Trividam, of three kinds. Narakasya, of hell. Idam, this. Dvaram, gate. Nashanam, destructive. Atmanaha, of the self. Kamaha, lust. Krodhaha, anger. Tata, as well as. Lobhaha, greed. Tasmat, therefore. Etat, these. Trayam, three. Tajet, one must give up. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There are three gates leading to this hell: lust, anger, greed. In every sane man should give these up, for they lead to the degradation.
Prabhu, you're not audible.
Hare Krishna.
Huh.
Translation: there are three gates leading to this hell: lust, anger, greed. Every sane man should give these up, for they lead to the degradation of the soul. Purport: the beginning of demon demoniac life is described herein. One tries to satisfy his lust, and when he contact anger and greed arise, a sane man who does not want to glide down to the species of demoniac life must try to give up these three enemies, which can kill the self to such an extent that there will be no possibility of liberation from this material entanglement. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, lust, greed, and anger. These are the ones which we have to give up because it will keep you down. It will not help you to progress further. So demons with not like the description. Of course, unclean, ugly, all that is a physical characteristic, but these are the internal ones which will make you demonic by nature. So we should try to avoid these or try to keep them to the very, very minimal, or eventually it should come down to the zero so that we'll be further protecting our soul from degradation. Next. Yes, who is reading next? Arunaksha Prabhu, Hare Krishna. No, Manjula Mataji. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, I'm reading.
Okay.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. एतैर्विमुक्त कौन्तेय तमोद्वारस्त्रिभिर् नरः आचारेति आत्मनः श्रेयस् ततो यति परं गतिम्. Translation and no synonymous. Etaha, free from this. Vimuktaha, having being liberated. Kaunteya, a son of Kunti. Tamaha, dwaraha. Tama dwarahi, from the gates of ignorance. Tribhihi, of three kinds. Naraha, a person. Achareti, performs. Atmanaha, for the self. Shreya, benediction. Tataha, thereafter. Yati, he goes. Param, the supreme. Gatim, destination. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The man who has escaped these three gates of hell, O son of Kunti, performs act conducive to self-realization and thus gradually attain the supreme destination. Purport. One should be very careful of these three enemies of human life: lust, anger, and greed. The more a person is freed from lust, anger, greed, the more his existence become pure. Then he can follow the rules and regulation enjoined the Vedic literature by following the regulative principles of human life. One gradually rise himself to the platform of spiritual realization if one is so fortunate by such practice to rise to the platform of Krishna consciousness, then success is guaranteed. For him, in the Vedic literature, the ways of action and reaction are prescribed to enable one to come to the stage of purification. The whole method is based on giving up lust, greed, and anger. By cultivating knowledge of this process, one can be elevated to the highest position of self realization. In this self realization is perfected in devotional service. In, in that devotional service, the liberation of the conditioned soul is guaranteed. Therefore, according to the Vedic system, there are instructed the four order of life, the four status of life called caste system. Mm. And the spiritual order system are there are different rules and regulations for different caste or division of society. And if a person is able to follow them, he will be automatically raised to the highest platform of spiritual realization. Then he can have liberation without a doubt. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. One has to overcome this lust, greed, and anger. Then only one can progress. Hare Krishna. Coming to the next
Here
shloka.
in this sloka, talking about one is free from, means he will escape from the that
Lust, greed, and anger.
naraka. From the
This,
hell.
these are
He
the
will
three
be
gateways to the
liberated.
hell,
Yes.
Prabhu. So one should be free from these three.
Gateways to the hell, he will be chance to get liberated. Right?
Yes. Next, who is
It
going
is
to
it.
read?
Each sloka in from the third, fourth sloka to here. All slokas are only for demonic qualities only.
No. See, first slokas, first few of, I think 5, 6 slokas.
First three slokas, there are 26
Yeah.
letter.
Divine
Every
qualities.
slokas are given demonic qualities and demonic natures. Moha, raga, dvesha, kama, krodha, attachment.
Yes.
So this sloka is talking about the who give up or who conquer anger and lust and greed, they will get chance to liberate it, right?
Yes, Prabhu. We are coming to the end of the chapter, no? So it is giving its
Ah.
conclusion. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Who is going to recite next? Manjula Mataji, Hare Krishna. Arunaksha Prabhu.
Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Oh, one second, Mataji. Yeah. I'm starting. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. यह शास्त्र विधिम उत्सृज्य वर्तते कामक खरातः नासा सिद्धिम अवाप्नोति ना सुखम न पराम गतिम. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. He who discards scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness nor the supreme destination. Purport: as described before, the Shastra Vidhi or the direction of the Shastra is given to the different castes and orders of the human society. Everyone is expected to follow these rules and regulations. If one does not follow them and acts whimsically according to his lust, greed, and desire, then he never will be perfect in his life. In other words, a man may theoretically know all these things, but if he does not apply them in his own life, then he is not to be known as the lowest of mankind. In the human form of life, the living entity is expected to be sane and to follow the regulations given for elevating his life to the highest platform. But if he does not follow them, then he degrades himself. But even if he follows the rules and regulations and moral principles and ultimately does not come to the stage of understanding the Supreme Lord, then all his knowledge becomes spoiled. And even if he accepts the existence of God, if he does not engage,
In the
even
service of the Lord.
there, yes, service, service of the Lord, engage himself in service of the Lord, his attempts are spoiled. Therefore, one should gradually raise himself to the platform of Krishna consciousness and devotional service. It is then and there that he can attain the highest perfectional stage, not otherwise. The word kama karataha is very significant. A person who knowingly violates the rules acts in lust. He knows that this is forbidden, but still he acts. This is called acting whimsically. He knows that this should be done. Uh, this this should be done, but still he does not do it. Therefore, he is called whimsical. Such persons are destined to be condemned by the Supreme Lord. Such persons cannot have the perfection which is meant for the human life. The human life is especially meant for purifying one's existence, and one who does not follow the rules and regulations cannot purify himself, nor can he attain the real stage of happiness. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So what is to be followed, it should be followed. We cannot violate that. We cannot act accordingly. So the things will get spoiled. Isn't it? So similarly, knowingly we should not try to do it. Unknowingly, so we cannot say. But no, once we know this is the path by which one can be liberated. So we should try to stay away from the things which contaminates our soul. Yeah. Okay, Hare Krishna. Yes, Shravan Prabhu. Who has raised the hands? Manjula Mataji, yes.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, you can read. Hare Krishna, Manjula Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, I was on mute and I was reciting.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no problem. Yes, read Mataji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tasmat Shastram Pramanante Karya Karya Vyavastitau Gnatva Shastra Vidanoktam Karma Kartum Iharasi. Synonyms: Tasmat, therefore; Shastram, the scriptures; Pramanam, evidence; Te, your; Karya, duty; Akarya, and the forbidden activities; Vyavastitau, in determining; Gnatva, knowing; Shastra, of scripture; Vidana, the regulation; Uktam, as declared; Karma, work; Kartum, do; Iha, in this world; Arhasi, you should. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: one should therefore understand what is duty and what is not duty by the regulations of the scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated. Purport: uh, as stated in the 15th chapter, all the rules and regulations of the Vedas are meant for knowing Krishna. If one understands Krishna from the Bhagavad Gita and becomes situated in Krishna consciousness, engaging himself in devotional service, he has reached the highest perfection of knowledge offered by the Vedic literature. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made this process very easy. He asked people simply to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and to engage in the devotional service of the Lord and eat the remnants of foodstuff offered to the deity. One who is directly engaged in all these devotional activities is to be understood as having studied all Vedic literature. He has come to the conclusion perfectly. Of course, for the ordinary persons who are not in Krishna consciousness or who are not engaged in devotional service, what is to be done and what is not to be done must be decided by the injunctions of the Vedas. One should act accordingly without argument. That is called following the principles of Shastra or Scripture. Shastra is without the four principal defects that are visible in the conditioned soul: imperfect senses, the propensity for cheating, certainty of committing mistakes, and certainty of being illusioned. These four principal defects in conditioned life disqualify one from putting forth rules and regulations. Therefore, the rules and regulations as described in the Shastra, being above these defects, are accepted without alteration by all great saints, acharyas, and great souls. You want me to continue, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. In India, there are many parties of spiritual understanding, generally classified as two: the impersonalist and the personalist. Both of them, however, lead their lives according to the principles of the Vedas. Without following the principles of the scriptures, one cannot elevate himself to the perfectional stage. One who actually, therefore, understands the purport of the Shastras is considered fortunate. In human society, aversion to the principles of understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the cause of all fall downs. That is the greatest offense of human life. Therefore, Maya, the material energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is always giving us trouble in the shape of the threefold miseries. This material energy is constituted of the three modes of material nature. One has to raise himself at least to the mode of goodness before the path to understanding the Supreme Lord can be opened. Without raising oneself to the standard of the mode of goodness, one remains in ignorance and passion, which are the cause of demonic life. Those in the modes of passion and ignorance deride the scriptures, deride the holy man, and deride the proper understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They disobey the instructions of the spiritual master and they do not care for the regulations of the scriptures. In spite of hearing the glories of devotional service, they are not attracted. Thus, they manufacture their own way of elevation. These are some of the defects of human society which led to the demonic status of life. If, however, one is able to be guided by a proper and bona fide spiritual master who can lead one to the path of elevation to the highest stage, then one's life becomes successful. Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purports to the 16th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of the divine and demonic natures. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. So this particular last shloka says, as stated in the 15th chapter, all the rules and regulations in the Veda are meant for knowing Krishna. Okay. So once he becomes engaged in the service of the Lord, he can understand Krishna. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has simplified this process of knowing Krishna. What are that? Chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, engaging devotion service, eating the Krishna Prasada, which is offered to the deity. So one who is directly engaging all his senses in the service of the Lord. So definitely these people will be free from all sort of contamination, and this will get elevated because these people are following the Shastra without any other thought process. And while doing so, their senses have been made perfect. And following the four regulative principles, they'll stay away from getting contaminated by all these. Okay, the imperfect senses or propensity for cheating, that is a gambling, certainty of committing mistakes or certainty of being illusions. All these things, they are far away. Okay. These four principal defects in the condition life disqualify one from putting forth the rules and regulations. So uh, under the shelter of again the bona fide spiritual master, one who is certainly getting trained will be free from all these contaminations. So as we have discussed in 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, if you remember the impersonal and personal bhakti. So what we are talking in the above paragraph is about the personal form of a bhakti. Okay. So in that form, one can easily get elevated to the perfection stage and ultimately will be free from all the materialistic contamination. Okay. So one has to raise himself at least to the mode of a goodness before the path of understanding of the Supreme Lord can be opened. Okay. So without raising oneself to the standard, it is not possible to progress. Then some amount of the demonic pravritti will be there, which will prevent us from going forward. But to avoid that, we should always take the help of the bona fide spiritual master who will give us a right path so that we can progress to the higher state. Then one's life become successful. Okay. Hare Krishna. Any questions till now? Hare Krishna.
I think no questions, Mataji.
Yeah. So initially we have learned about the divine qualities, then the demonic qualities. What are the contaminants which will lead to the demonic qualities? What if we are having such qualities? How will be our next life? What form one will get? Okay, all those things we have learned, and ultimately one has to free from the lust, greed, and anger. Follow four regulative principles and the guidance of the bona fide spiritual master. Then it becomes easier. So it is not like a one-time job. Okay. It's a daily process. Okay. Hare Krishna. Some paragraphs will be given here if this point is not showing. Okay, this I will say about Hare Krishna. I wanted devotees to read this particular verse.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tatam Virajam Akarvam. Sita Padmotpalasrajam. Snigdha Nilalaka Vrata Bhaktrabjam Virajo Ambara. Synonyms: Sa, that Ardhamamuni, Tam Im, Virajam, without contamination, Arka Amba, Harka Abham, effulgent like the sun, Sita, white, Padma, lotuses, Utpala, white lily, water lilies, Rajam, garlands, Snigdha, slick, Neela, bluish black, blackish blue, Alaka of locks of hair, Vrita and abundance, Bhaktra face, Abjam lotus like, Viraja spotless, Ambara clothing. Translation purpose Prabhupada ki jai. Kardama Muni saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is free from material contamination in his eternal form, effulgent like the sun, wearing a garland of white lotuses and water lilies. The Lord was clad in spotless yellow silk, and his lotus face was fringed with silk dark locks of curly hair.
Slick dark locks of curly hair.
Slick dark locks of curly hair.
Yeah. So Prabhu, this is particular with reference to the like how our elevated souls will be able to see the Lord and all. Okay. Yeah. Next one. Yeah. You can read the translation part.
Translation: adorned with the crown and earring, he held his characteristic conch, disc, and mace in three of his hands, and a white lily in the fourth. He glanced about in an happy, smiling mood whose sight captivates the hearts of all devotees. A golden stick on his chest, the famous Kaustubhajam, suspended from his neck, he stood in the air with his lotus feet placed on the shoulders of Garuda.
Yeah. So this is with particular to the description of the Lord, and this can be seen this form of Lord. You know, if you see the previous um, verse, so that can be seen only by the pure devotees of the Lord. And Kardama Muni is one such example who has seen the Lord in that. So through his whatever perception, we could see the description of the Lord. Okay. And just to show you, this is one example. Um, Yeah, this is with regard to the conversation when he has to marry the Manu's daughter, you know. So, yeah, he's just bowing down in front of the god and he is, yeah, he's asking him for the permission. So he is one example. So in this particular story, actually, Kardama Muni will marry the Devahuti and he will continue his sadhana. You know, at one point of time, Devahuti will say, "Yes, Prabhu, I've been serving you." She will not, but my sisters who got married after me or so, they have begetted a children, but I am childless. So kindly bestow me with some children so that I can progress. So Kardama Muni, despite a great devotee of the Lord, you know, who is more powerful than the Saptarshis, and he take a break from the sadhana and he says, "Yes, I will serve you for a certain amount of a time, then I will go back to my sadhana." So knowing the Lord and doing the service toward the Lord is one aspect, and you should have that. One is said to be an divine personality who can conquer his senses, who can fix his mind upon the Lord. So Kardama Muni is one such what do you say example from the Shastras, who is a perfect example of the divine characters. Okay. So this we will come in detail later. And the demonic characters you can see, the Jaya Vijaya, who has been cursed by the sages, that is uh, uh, the four Kumaras. So he will be born as a Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, who will be killed in the hands of a Lord again. Okay, they are the examples of the demonic qualities. Similarly, Vidura. Yes, anybody has any idea about the Vidura?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Vidura is third canto. He's introduced. He's a great devotee of Lord Shri Krishna, and he was born to Shudras, but he was a great devotee. He was from childhood. He was very interacting and his intimate relation with Krishna also, and yes,
Yeah, do you
and
know
he is
who?
a great minister also for
Yeah,
advisor.
do you know who is Vidura actually?
Huh.
Yamadharmaraj, Mataji.
Amadharma Raja, he is born to Veda Vyasa, to womb of the Shudra, servant of the king.
Yeah, he's born to the that, but he is on a vacation for 100 years, to come here. And why do you think he has come here for a vacation for 100 years?
Wanted to renounce
Actually, he was
that
not
place.
come for a vacation. He was cursed to one sage because the sage cursed he that sage while he was playing with in childhood. He killed some ants with spikes of some spikes of or some trees. They know the spikes there at some tree leaves. So that time he for that action he entered into hell. So he told, I am a great sage, I did not done anything, but then some kings, they kidnapped me and they tortured me, and I was just very suffocating, and later I entered into hell. So I cursed you, why I am not done anything. So Yamadharma told, yes, some past life of your life, some of life you done something sin, you done killed some ants, so in due to that you have to be come into hell. So he told, no, I am child, I don't know anything. So from that day onward he cursed to, you will become as a as born as a Sudras family, lowest mankind of the Murtiloka. Then
Yeah.
he come.
Yeah. He is also one of the divine characteristic. So what is the
He was
significance? Yeah,
Mahajana, I become
yeah.
later.
So what is his main role here in this? What learnings we have from the character of Vidura?
Vidura was a great dharmic person, and he was main, of course, justice, and he was, of course, he not done anything, but of course, the sins are, and we see in Bhagavatam, any curses are. It's become later reversals, and they become great devotee opportunity to get with
Okay, he has
to
become a
pure
devotee, all
devotional
those things.
service.
No, no, Prabhu, all this
Uh,
is okay. But how his life has impacted other people and how people are benefited out of him, you tell me that
He's
aspect.
more
What?
enthusiastic of getting things known, Mataji. He asked Maitreya Muni many questions regarding the things. So because of him, we get many things in Srimad Bhagavatam. Because of him questioning why is happening exactly after some of the instances. So we are also able to get off those information in that way. From third canto till fourth canto also, he also questions different things.
Apart from
he
that, Prabhu?
was with along with Uddhava also. Vidura and Uddhava, they went to Maitreya Rishi.
Yeah.
In
So,
third canto and fifth chapter, they have great conversation. He
yeah.
asked, "What is the highest devotional service you taught to Lord Brahma. So, who asked this question? Uddhava asked this question to Lord Krishna. So, Lord Krishna, he given that knowledge. So later he told he Uddhava Vidura also asked, please share what Krishna told with that secrets what Lord given to Lord Brahma, highest knowledge of the entire universe. Then they both are went to where Maitreya Rishi. Then Maitreya Rishi taught the expansion of the universal form. How universal form is created, where it created, when created, everything is started from third canto to fifth chapter.
Okay, fine. So what learning we can learn from Vidura when Duryodhana has insulted him? What was his approach and what is that learning?
It is a
we
nice
have to-
question. Nice question. It is
He did
when Vidura,
he left the place. He did
Vidura
not
was
fight.
the
He left the place.
uh,
So it for our understanding, maybe even if we compare in our daily situations, if situation is wrong, it's just that we can walk away. So that instead of making it as a big, we can just step out. This is one of the learnings we can take it from Vidura.
So how he has been insulted by Duryodhana? How he has been benefited by getting insulted by Duryodhana?
actually,
took
he was always wanted to be well established kingdom. Of course, he wanted to be, but he was doing for by force because he was at the rulership of the king. So he was working under king. But when Duryodhana he approached to king also, whatever your son doing, it is completely wrong. You are in totally in blind. So if you continue this the way like entire your dynasty will destroy. Please rectify this. But king also not heard his advice. But at the same time, Duryodhana insulted. Who are you to guide me? Who are you to tell what is right and wrong? Then he told, please go from the from the kingdom. So he happily went from the kingdom because he always wanted to exit from the kingdom. He always wanted to exit from the kingdom. So he is seen as an opportunity.
So how he has
Opportunity.
been benefited? How he has been benefited out of
How
this?
is later he went later he went many destinations, spiritual destination, entire the our Bharata desha. Then later he visited many temples. He later met to who Uddhava.
Yeah,
Then started.
how do we apply it in a personal application with regard to Vidura's principle?
We can how apply. So we can apply anything is not in favorable, and who if we are in circumstances it's unfavorable or it's wrong place. So we always think what is our soul's happiness means what soul wanted, not what king wanted, what somebody wanted, what wife wanted, what parent wanted. No, what I wanted because ultimately the soul is the ultimate goal to elevate it from material world to spiritual world. So you always to seek that what how Uddhava went from the kingdom. Even he was a great royal advisor, but he happily renounced everything. He went, he did not argue how can you told me to went from go from the kingdom, but he did not argue, he happily went. So we can also follow how Vidura done. We can, if a situation is unfavorable, it's not favorable to our devotional service. So we always to welcome our pathway for elevation.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Prasanna Chitta Das Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. This question is for you. Here, who is the identify the divine as well as the demonic quality from character from this fourth canto, Prabhu?
Mataji, in this starting we get Surichi, like stepmother of Dhruva Maharaj, demonic character, and Pious is Dhruva Maharaj and his own mother.
Okay. How about Daksha Prabhu?
Daksha was demoniac initially, Mataji, and later he got pious by the mercy of Lord Shiva. But initially he was overwhelmed that I am being the topmost sons of Brahma, so he did not give respect to Lord Shiva, and he did not invite him and to give his share of portion. So thus he was having that uh, overwhelmed because I am greater than Lord Shiva, I can neglect him. So that he had that pride. But he was a pious person. He was very good in doing many sacrifices. But later he got rejuvenated and then regained all these senses. But he was not completely demoniac, but that kind of bad intention was there. So that it got relieved after Lord Shiva's mercy on him.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yes, Manjula Mataji, can you say which mode was in Sati and what example we have to learn from her?
During that argument, Mataji, Sati was in a mode of
Before, during, and after also, I can say.
Before she was having a compassion that he was my father, though they're willing to call me, invite me or not, but still as a daughter, she was thinking that it is my responsibility to go. I don't need any invitation and all. But that mode was affection, attachment, we can call it as. But once after, not taking the things it serious, guided by Lord Shiva, right? That it is not good for you to go and all. But still she insisted to go.
So
And
what
after going,
lessons we have to learn from that point, this particular point, what you have described?
uh, we should not be so much affectionate, and also we should listen to the great Vaishnavas, because Lord Shambhu is called Vaishnava, right? Should give ears to the great people when they say something. We should listen to them.
So here
This
we
is
can
what.
say, listen to the bona fide spiritual master, whatever they
Yeah.
say. So rather than having your own directional thinking, if she have listened to Lord Shiva, she would have been, I don't know what would have been the consequences. But having an affection is not a wrong thing. But not listening to their superiors and following the regulation is a violation here, right?
Yeah, because we knows that what would be the next scenario, but she was in a mood of attachment and affection, right, Mataji? She was not ready to listen.
So in a personal application, so what you wanted to learn out of this situation, out of this
It was
particular Sati's
when we
example?
from this example, as you just mentioned, we'll have to listen to spiritual master, surrender to Krishna, so that not expecting the result. Let's just follow them. Things will fall in a better place, Mataji.
So listening to spiritual master is just to have a directional talk, or it is to how it is going to help us, you tell me.
Spiritual master is gonna give us the directions, though we are in a association with them. We will be guided with what is right, what is dharma, what is wrong, and also based on that we will be able to apply. Okay, fine, I'm listening something from my spiritual master. This is how I need to correct myself. This is not correct to follow this way. I mean, based on the situation and all. And that is one thing. And at the same time, surrendering to the Krishna, also things will get placed accordingly by as well.
Just one events of the sun. This I think afterwards I will description. I will take later. Okay, a few more examples we will discuss tomorrow with regard to divine and demonic qualities from Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, and we'll revise little bit of chapter 16. Okay, anything more?
Mataji, one doubt, Mataji, like these divine and demoniac qualities are intended for some purposes, right? For example, even Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Hiranyakashipu, they were Jai Vijay, and then they were cursed to become demons. So these are in the pastimes of Lord, and do we also consider the same thing happening with people, general public people, demoniac, and then are there curses happening, or like is that their own swabhava intensity to have things and bound with karma. How do we relate that, Mataji?
Prabhu, actually, I don't think nobody is good or no. We cannot say somebody is good or bad. Whatever situations, based on our past karma, we come in contact with the people who are in such nature. Okay. And why you always say about the devotee association? Because they help us to keep ourselves in a situation of a mode of a goodness. Okay. I strongly feel, based on your or my personal experience, I can say, the more you try to be involved in this particular mode of goodness and doing particular sadhana, you will be associated with such people only. The moment you start contaminated by different means, then you will have the people of that sort only. That needs very very subtle delineation, where we can find out like how come we are attached to these people and all. So somewhere in the back end, our conditioning is making us attract towards such soul. So slowly, by doing the sadhana, automatically we will get liberated. I feel the more we feel the ekanta of doing the japa, reading the shastra, and getting self engaged, realizing the importance of the time what we have. Because in this era, Prabhu, time is very valuable. If we waste even a single minute or a second on thinking about what other person's perspective, we are losing on our own sadhana's time, I feel so. So everything, good or bad, comes only to what do you say, to upskill your talent and make you progress. There is nothing like good or bad, I feel so, Prabhu. Even bad people will try to get good out of you, and sometimes two good people may do good, but it can be inhibited in certain situations. So as Lord said, this situations are like the seasons, it should not affect us. It is only our mood which is making us, but anything is okay which is given by Krishna. If he wish to give us wrong things, or if he wish to make us through a troubled times and all, that is also okay. Because somewhere he's trying to correct us. If he's giving us a favorable situation, that is also okay, because he wanted us to get improved and get back to him. So that's my perspective, Prabhu. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, Mataji. Thank you so much for clarifying, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Prabhu. I can say you, Prabhu, my own example, but my own colleagues, I have given a lot of a time where I was working, but I did not have any work in a hand. So all those times I have utilized to complete Srimad Bhagavatam, the entire reading 3 times. I completed Chaitanya Charitamrita. So I used to do the japa and take the class regularly, and lot of time to read the Shastra and the reference books also. So I am so grateful to all those toxic colleagues, I can say, because of which I could complete the Shastra. But now I don't get that chance, Prabhu. So certain situations, Lord is creating your space. You should recognize what for he has given you that space. So we should try to utilize that to the maximum, rather than wasting our energies that these people are wrong, these are not up to the mark, why they are like this. It is waste, Prabhu. I feel so. It is waste of our energy to delineate somebody's good or bad characteristics.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we'll come up with, I'll just share a few more examples tomorrow from the Srimad Bhagavatam Mandi. Okay. We'll conclude for today. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. So Hare Krishna.
Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrindi ki jai. All glories
Jai.
to assembled devotee. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare
Nice
Krishna.
example, Mataji, given. If personal experience also, if anything happened to for anyone, it's a opportunity. We can learn in many lessons, and it's always given chances to know about the nature, our surrounding people, and everything. But we should not stick to with that situation. We come out of from the situation. It is the even Srimad Bhagavatam also every chapter and purports saying that many stories are reversals only become pure devotees.
Yes. Yes, Prabhu.
Right. Thank you.
Yes.
I hope
Thank you.
devotees are filled their attendance. Thank you.
Yes,
Hare
yes, we
Krishna.
have to.
Hare Krishna. See you